It was just a few months after the Berlin Wall fell, January 1990. The Soviet Union was still intact, barely, and it was starting to unravel, when McDonald's, the very symbol of American capitalism, opened its first store in Moscow at the height of the perestroika economic reforms under President Mikhail Gorbachev. It was located in Pushkin Square, and it was a very, very big deal. This was the front page of the Washington Post on the day the store opened. A1, below the fold, was a story on the McDonald's titled, quote, "Moscow plays catch-up." Get it? Catch-up? And this is how NBC Nightly News covered the story at the time.
The grand opening hype was as foreign to Moscow as the hamburger. George Cohan, who started negotiating the joint venture with the Soviets 14 years ago, was ecstatic.
But I would recommend to Western businessmen that this is a great market. And I think this is a market that's open for business.
The indoctrination of the young staff has created a pep rally enthusiasm that confounded some first-day customers.
Because it's very unusual for Soviet people to be kind and to be polite to everybody.
And in a city where restaurants often close early because the food runs out, Moscow's newest stayed open hours after its scheduled closing tonight. When it finally did, 30,000 customers had been served, an all-time one-day record for the chain. A good omen for the 19 other McDonald's planned for the Soviet capital. Peter Kent, NBC News, Moscow.
27,000 Russians applied for the jobs at the restaurant for about 600 open positions. On the day the store opened, there was a line that was 5 football fields long waiting to get in. And as you heard, the store even stayed open late just to get through all the Russians, 30,000 of them, eager to try American fast food for the first time. 20 years later, after that historic opening, in 2010, McDonald's executives visited the location as part of an effort to highlight its successful expansion into Russia. By that point, the Pushkin Square restaurant had become a normal part of life in Russia, having served more than 130 million customers. Earlier this month, that McDonald's in Pushkin Square closed, along with every other McDonald's store in the country, among countless other brands. It's part of the global response to the Russian President Vladimir Putin's war of aggression in Ukraine. And it's hard to see and not think that in a matter of 4 weeks, Vladimir Putin has taken Russia back 30 years in terms of prosperity and economics. The country is back where it started after communism, isolated from most of the Western world. A new Iron Curtain has fallen. It's not all that clear what happens next. Nina Khrushcheva is a professor of international affairs at the New School and the co-author of Putin's Footsteps, searching for the soul of an empire across Russia's 11 time zones. She's the granddaughter of Nikita Khrushchev, who served as the premier of the Soviet Union. Nina, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. Look, it's a McDonald's. Anybody can live without one, but this is a pretty potent metaphor for Russia essentially moving backward in a big way. There is a real risk, maybe I'm overstating it, but that Vladimir Putin is undoing decades of globalization and prosperity in a month.
Well, it closed recently, and essentially just in a week, it became clear that it's the new Iron Curtain, and now it's actually kind of artificially created, but also created by Vladimir Putin himself, because the Western businesses and Western firms pulled out, but also the Russians themselves, the Kremlin and controlling organs closed numerous, well, not numerous, there are not that many free outlets, free media outlets remain, but they closed the newspapers, NBC, everybody, media outlets, foreign media outlets also left Russia because of some absolutely draconic laws. So I think, were very generous to say that Russia is back where it started 30 years ago, because in the last 5 years of the Soviet Union, it was rather open. My fear, what I'm seeing, is Russia is back in the late 1940s, and that also may be generous because it was before Joseph Stalin's death in 1953. The relationship and the Iron Curtain was pretty firm when Nikita Khrushchev, whom you mentioned, became in charge of the country. In fact, it became much more open. It is much more, well, to some degree, it was much more open under Khrushchev than it is today. At least the New York Times and NBC were operating in the country. So it is a giant, giant metaphor, that McDonald's.
So does this, at some point, despite all the press restrictions that you're talking about, despite the fact that this about this economic pullback, about the idea that global firms like McDonald's and many others are pulling out of Russia or shutting down, does Vladimir Putin's control over the media and the way this is expressed offset the actual pain and suffering that average Russians are going through over this war that I'm sure most of them are not all that interested in?
Well, they're not interested in, you covered protests, so they're also protesting. But also for them, the older generation, not even the older generation, say if you're 30, you don't know a different life. You don't know, if you're 20, you don't know life without Instagram, that now is a terrorist organization. You don't know life without Facebook. So you don't know what it is to be, not only in terms of goods and services and products, be unconnected to the world, but also in terms of social media, information, internet. So it is a very giant North Korea right now, or at least getting closer to being giant North Korea. But also what is problematic for the Russians is because Russia now is a global enemy. It's not just Putin. People do understand it, Putin's war, but Russia is collectively punished for it. There is a collective responsibility to some degree. And that is problematic because a lot of Russians now listening to Putin's propaganda, and propaganda is blatant. The Russian culture is being closed, that the West is out to get you. It wants to deprive you of all this burgers and buns, and we can make our own. And in fact, actually, after McDonald's closed, the next day or the 2 days, the Matryoshka trucks, the Russian nesting dolls with the image of a Russian nesting doll just parked right there as if it can replace globalization. So a lot of Russians now also get mad not only at Putin, but also at the West as well. And so there is a balancing act that Putin is using with propaganda, especially TV propaganda, that Russians have to stand against the world because the world wants to punish Russia for being independent, standing up to the United States with its McDonald's and its Microsoft and Google and whatnot. And some people actually buying that propaganda, unfortunately.
Well, it is sad that Russians who have nothing to do with this are suffering under this as much as anyone else. Nina, thanks for your time. We always appreciate it. Nina Khrushcheva. Much more to come live from Warsaw tonight, including the crucial role that Poland is playing in the conflict as fleeing Ukrainians seek refuge. A special report right after this. Stay with us.